Hey everyone, it's me Lone, hope you're doing alright. First off, apologize for the glasses in this video. I know the lights reflect off of them and it's pretty distracting, but I'm tired, my eyes are sore, and unfortunately this is a video that needs to get made tonight, so I apologize for that. And the reason it needs to get made tonight is because the latest update to Fallout 76 has introduced a pretty bad issue to the game, wherein legacy weapons are now more broken and overpowered than they've ever been. So I'd appreciate if you like this video and share it around. It is important that people in the community are made aware. And also, I kind of want to ensure that people are aware of it so they can voice their concerns, so Bethesda can realize it and try and fix this issue as quickly as possible. Now, technically, they're able to revert this latest issue, hopefully pretty quickly, but we know that legacies have been a long-standing issue in the game, and that certainly isn't being fixed overnight, but maybe this in particular issue can be. I don't know, we'll see. So what am I talking about? I was on Twitter today and I saw a tweet by DDT Gamer, and if you don't know, he's a Fallout 76 creator. I'll link his channel in the description below. And he was saying that although the other areas of the patch for Fallout 76 has been pretty good, unfortunately they made legacy weapons even more powerful. I asked him, what are you talking about? Like, how are legacy weapons more powerful? If you read the patch notes for that update, nothing was mentioned about explosive damage, nothing was mentioned about boss enemies taking damage from explosives properly now, nothing like that, nothing that could possibly affect legacies. And then he said, there has been a buff to explosives, which was meant to come later on in the year, I think. However, it's come in secretly now, and it's made explosive weapons more powerful and effective against the Scorchbeast Queen, etc., causing it to die pretty fast. Not tested it, but he saw it in Angry Turtle's stream where he tested it, and of course, Angry Turtle is a gun when it comes to Fallout 76. He was able to identify this issue pretty quickly, and yes, he even confirmed on that Twitter thread that this is now a pretty big issue in the game. So, TLDR, explosive legacy weapons like the explosive Gatling Plasma and the explosive Gatling Laser to a lesser extent, but really it's the Gatling Plasma that's at issue here. Those weapons now absolutely wrecked the Queen. It's just insane. And I want to show you on screen right now a video from Tier, who is also another Fallout 76 creator. This video is in the description below as well if you want to check it out. But you can see him wrecking the Scorchbeast Queen, and technically this wasn't possible before, even though the explosive Gatling Plasma has always been a very, very powerful gun as a legacy. It's traditionally not performed so well against the Scorchbeast Queen because she's always taken explosive damage in a funny way. Technically, to be able to do a lot of damage against her previously with a gun like this, you needed to wait until she landed and then shot her belly. That was the only way really that she could take the proper damage. But now you can see Tyr with his own explosive Gatling Plasma shooting her in the sky and reducing her damage or her health like it's no tomorrow. It's absolutely insane. And even he made the note that imagine just you were in a public server and everyone brought their explosive Gatling Plasmas to this event. Could you imagine how quickly the Queen would die? Even as she's flying around, now this is possible. It wasn't before, and now it is. Essentially what was happening was that, as I mentioned, the Queen always has taken explosive damage in a pretty funny way, and it wasn't always effective. Bethesda was trying to fix that issue because there are legitimate weapons that were being affected by this, where because of their explosive damage, they weren't dealing enough damage against the Scorchbeast Queen. So Bethesda, in trying to fix that issue, has now just really buffed explosive legacy weapons to the stage where they're just ridiculous now. They're absolutely ridiculous. So yes, on one side, it's good that old issue was fixed, but now this is going to be an even bigger issue in my opinion, because we know how many people have these legacy weapons. Some are legitimately attained, some aren't, but regardless, it's going to become an issue now in the community. And it sucks. I know this sucks, and it sucks because legacy weapons have long been an issue in the community, and people are divided, and I want to appreciate this. I know that there's a good subset of people, in particular those that legitimately obtained their legacy weapons in the past, that think, you know what, I got this weapon properly, I didn't get it by cheats or hacks or anything like that. It dropped legitimately at a time in the game where they were able to be dropped. So why am I not able to use this weapon? And I understand that argument to an extent for sure. Like, if you were playing the game in those early days and you were lucky enough to get one of these weapons, why wouldn't you be able to use it? I understand that argument, don't get me wrong. But then there's other people on the other side of the coin that are like, you know what? When you bring these weapons on a public server to an event like now, the Scorchbeast Queen event or other events, where you're wrecking all the enemies, it's affecting other people's enjoyment of the events and of the game. And if you want to do that, do it in a private server where it's not affecting people. I think that's the main issue that people in the wider community kind of have when it comes to these legacy weapons. And let's be clear, you see these all the time in public servers. People are using them all the time. And I know that there's people that have legitimately attained these weapons, but there are people that haven't. Okay, these weapons have definitely been duped at one stage or another, and they're floating around, and they're not the actual legit legacies that you could obtain in the past. So they're everywhere, and with this latest change, it's going to become even more of a concern. So I'm hoping that at least one in the time being, even though this issue, or this bug or this fix was meant to fix legitimate weapons that weren't getting enough damage on the Queen, even though that's the case, I still think Bethesda needs to revert this change as quickly as possible in a hotfix. It just needs to be done. Otherwise, these events are going to become not enjoyable in the slightest when everyone brings their old explosive Gatling plasma to them. So I think that's one, but also two, it just emphasizes the fact that legacies need to be fixed in the game. And I want to be very clear. The fact that they haven't been fixed after over 3 years now, or however long it's been, years and years now, the fact that they haven't been fixed by now just makes it very clear this is an incredibly complicated issue. Read between the lines, right? If it was an issue that could be fixed overnight or relatively quickly by Bethesda, rest assured they would have done it, all right? They hear people enough every single day complaining about legacies. You think they wouldn't have fixed it if they could? The fact that they haven't means, yeah, it's something that they genuinely don't know how to do. It's very, very complicated. And I don't know whether they are working on it now, whether they plan to fix legacies in the future. I'm not sure, but the fact that it hasn't happened now, you know, it should make it very clear to you that it's an incredibly complicated issue. But still, the fact that it's complicated shouldn't mean that it doesn't get fixed. It really does need to get fixed. In my opinion, I think legacy weapons, when they affect other people's enjoyment of events, and you know, seasonal events, for instance, Fashion Day, whatever it might be, and now the Scorched Beast Queen event, when it's affecting everyone else in the server, I'm glad that you're able to have fun, even if it's a legitimately obtained legacy weapon like the explosive Gatling plasma. I still think that those weapons shouldn't be used. And unfortunately, you're not going to have a gentleman's agreement where everyone's just using those weapons in their own private server. It doesn't happen. We all know that it doesn't happen. And legacies, the wider problem of legacies does need to be fixed, okay? And I hope that it can be done soon, but is it? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know whether Bethesda is going to be able to fix these anytime soon, if at all, especially now that they have the reduced team, everyone working on Starfield, and they're having a different developer like 11 focus on content. Do they even have enough resources and people that understand these issues and are able to fix them? If they had the entirety of, like, you know, BGS at one stage working on this game and couldn't fix the issue then, are they going to be able to do so now? I think it's unlikely, and it sucks. I hope they can, but we'll see what happens. I just want to make sure that people are aware of this, and hopefully Bethesda, at the very least, can revert this latest change. It's going to affect those other legitimate weapons, but unfortunately, I think there are bigger issues at play here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, Wastelanders. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, check out the videos from the other creators in the description below. And until next time, this has been Lone. Please take care of yourselves, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.